Hi, everyone. Hope you can all see me and hear me. So this is it. Thank you for coming back on the main stage. So that was the final panel of the conference side of TIPE. So again, I hope everyone enjoyed it. I'm going to share a few slides here. Those are really the closing remarks, few reminders of what's coming up next, because again, the conference might be done, but we still have the career fair coming up. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So I'm just going to come with my slides here in a second. Should getting used to it now. Hopefully. Up. There we go. All right. So as I said, I want to share a few highlights with all of you. So first, what we had coming for the last 2 days. So we had great keynotes. So huge thank you to our keynote speakers. So we had Undersecretary Marisa Lego yesterday. Hopefully a number of you could attend her keynote. She shared really good information about international trade. Someone who's a binational and who went through that process of coming from abroad to the US, building companies here and all, like that definitely was striking home for me. But I know a number of you here are looking into international trade as well. So again, I hope you got really good tips and information from her. And today we had another really inspiring keynote as well with the team at Girl Gang Garage. So again, I hope a lot of you had a chance to listen from Bogi, Anne, and Pam. Thank you. If you're still in the audience, Anne and Pam and Bogi, thank you again so much for today. I think we were all anonymous here saying that we absolutely loved and were inspired by the projects at Girl Gang Garage. And what a beautiful car. I mean, just that, without even looking at what's behind it and how it's been done, it's gorgeous. So really great job. And again, thank you for sharing with us. Truly inspirational. Next, highlights women 3D printing around the globe. I hope you all had a chance to listen in the 10 minutes mini keynotes we had from our presenters and our regional directors all around the globe. So yes, I know my slides are not showing anything. It's coming up. I had little animations here. So we started with overview from North America with Halayan. So thank you, Halayan, yesterday for the overview. Really amazing work you've been doing with women in 3D printing all these years. So we see here the numbers. I know it was just a screenshot, so it's a bit smaller than we want, but huge job, again, developing our main region, North America. We also had Alex presenting Asia Pacific, something amazing job from Alex, who have been with us for years, developing the region. I particularly love Alex's presentation because you made really good remarks, and you were really apologizing for I know in Australia there is a huge awareness for the indigenous population. I really appreciate you starting your conversation like this. I was not expecting it, to be honest, and that struck me. So that's why it's also in my highlights and personal highlights here. So thank you for that. Moving on, we also had Valeria presenting Europe. So same thing, Europe is probably our second biggest region for women in 3D printing. So I love hearing all the work that has been done in the region. And Valeria, you are an area manager who has been extremely active with us. I think everyone sees all the activities coming from Italia. So Valeria is behind all of those. So huge thank you to her for all the great work done here. Then we had Ruba presenting Middle East and Africa. Sorry, it's a bit cut, I realized on my slide. Ruba is pretty new to the Women in 3D printing team, but has been doing an amazing work for the last few months. So huge thank you for coming in, presenting and representing women in 3D printing in Middle East and Africa. Those are regions we want to continue developing. And we're really excited being working with you and looking forward to the future. And earlier today, we had Myra presenting Latin America. Not everyone knows, but the community is huge for women 3D printing in Latin America. I know there is a huge group of 200 women who chat probably daily. It's pretty amazing to see. So huge thank you for everyone who is representing women 3D printing all over the globe. All right, moving on with some numbers for TIPE 2023. So how we did, so those are temporary numbers, right? So we'll see at the end of the actual conference. But so far we have actually over 180 speakers, 180 plus speakers. We'll have the final count shortly, taking into account the few speakers who were announced during the panel that Laura Griffith was presenting on the TCT Women in 3D Printing Award. So there were guest speakers. We couldn't highlight them before, so that's why it's 180 plus, because they were not in our final count so far. 2,000 attendees, same thing. We're going to have the actual numbers at the end, but this is where we were yesterday, so it's looking pretty good. Thank you. 50 sponsors, we will highlight them in a minute and thank them specifically, but it's pretty consistent with our previous editions of TIPE as well. So thank you for continuous support, because a lot of our 50 sponsors are repeat sponsors. So huge thank you again for your repeat support. And 30 plus hours of conference. Yes, we did that. Yes, so I won't add more. I guess you can see it on my face, I guess, that we've had 30 plus hours of conference. But yeah, all right. Moving on, thank yous. So I'm going to go through a few slides here. But first, I'm actually going to ask Angie to join me on stage. And I don't see, oh goodness, there are so many comments. I was trying to find Angie, but I'm going to read the comments later. All right, so as we go through the thank you, I wanted to start by thanking SME specifically. So SMEs are strategic partner for all of, like, this is the first year Women in 3D Printing does that. So first year we have a strategic partner, and we're extremely happy that this is SME. So huge thank you. So TIPE 2023 was actually our first shot, right? Working together. We never had done that before. So we'll debrief. We don't have to do it now, but I think the results are speaking, and that went pretty well. And again, on behalf of the Women in 3D Printing team, a huge thank you to you, Angie, and your whole team for stepping up and being here with us, and working alongside us as a team of volunteers who are quite disorganized. It was pretty amazing to have you and your team with us.
Thank you, Nora. We feel the same way on behalf of SME. Thank you to all of you. And like I mentioned yesterday, it was amazing to see behind the curtain all the work that goes behind this. And so we were honored that we could help pitch in, be a part of this. This is just the start of great things to come, as I see it, and the rest of the team at SME. I know that our next steps, as you're sharing on the screen here, is at Rapid Plus TCT, where we will be highlighting the Women in 3D Printing Showcase. So we will continue this evolution to share women's stories in 3D printing and profile their businesses, their technologies and concepts. So more to come there. And as you guys can see on here, you're going to see more from the Next Gen program and the diversity report as well from SME. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Up and moving up to our next slide, Angie, I'm going to let you continue on that one.
Yep. I just want to say, I know that many of these sponsors worked with SME, so I want to particularly do a big shout out to all of them. An event like this really can't happen with the support of all of you. And so thank you to all of you, especially platinum sponsors, gold sponsors, silver sponsors, all of the media partners. Everybody's hands were in this. Everybody was working diligently. Everyone was really a part of it, promoting it, helping it. So we couldn't have done it with all of you. We look forward to good things to come for 2024. So thank you.
And if I can just add one thing on the sponsors, I think it's there's definitely the financial sponsorship, right? So that goes into building an event like this, our costs, and we definitely appreciate the support in sharing those costs. But it also means something else. Knowing that we have all those companies who are supporting the mission of an event like this, only female speakers on the stage for 2.5 days, it can be a little bit bold. So we're getting used to it in this industry, I think now, I hope so. But this is new, and some companies may be taking risks doing this. So we really appreciate, we know what it means, that's what I'm saying. And we really appreciate, and we know this is more than a financial support. It is also really a support to the core mission of Women in 3D Printing. So huge thank you, and thank you to the individuals in every single one of those companies who are pushing for it. We know sometimes there are difficult conversations need to be had, and you are all supportive of the mission and pushing for it within your company. So a huge thank you from all the teams, both SME and Women in 3D Printing, for your support, because again, it's more than financial. All right, with that, up, I wanted to do a quick shout out, not a quick one actually, it's going to be a pretty long one because you deserve it, to our teams who have been putting the event together. So I'm hoping that's going to work. Actually, when I'm talking, is it going to work? Is it? Should. Come on. All right, here we go. So there is no sound, it's an animation. I think some of you who know me know how much I love animations. So here we go. We had to do one with the team. So big shout out to the team who has been behind TIPE. Literally, we could not have been doing this without you. And so you see here, like every track, every person that you see here, every picture, you probably have been seeing them for the last 2 days. They were our moderators and track leaders who have been putting the program together and who have been emceeing for the last 2 days and a half this conference. So again, thank you to all of you for showing up. Even if it was like a few hours here and there, like you have no idea how much that means. So a huge thank you to you for, again, showing up, being here, and such a professional work. I think we didn't have any issues. Everyone showed up and was exactly where they needed to be. So again, thank you. It really means a lot. And then, oops, sorry, actually trying to go to the next slide. And my next slide is the behind the scenes. So those are all the people you may not have seen for the last 2 days who have been working on TIPE. And so we have our executive committee on the top. So Angie on stage here, but also Lisa, Christine, and Lindsay have been part of the and myself. We are part of the executive committee who has handpicked basically the team then to go from there. So, and the track leaders, we're gonna welcome them on stage in a few minutes. But Addie, Stephanie, Stacy, Alex, amazing work that you've put into this conference. All the program is on your shoulder. So you had the responsibility, good or bad. Hopefully it was all good. I know it was all good. So a huge thank you for all the work. And this is literally months of work putting the program together. I know sometimes we may not have seemed to be responsive enough to our speakers. And it's because we were doing sometimes really hard decisions on who to put on stage. So thank you everyone for bearing with us, and all the team for all the hard work and coping sometimes again with our disorganization. Somehow it worked, but really, really thanks to you. So, and now that we thank the team, I want to thank you right there behind your screen who's watching me right now. TIPE is TIPE, and it wouldn't be TIPE without you. If we didn't have you behind your screen watching us right now, celebrating us and listening to our speakers and being as involved as you are and being the community you are, there wouldn't be TIPE. And honestly, if we didn't have the continuous support over the years, maybe there would have been one TIPE and that would be it. So, but now it's already our 3rd year, and we keep going because we know this event resonates, has an impact, and we really appreciate you showing up every year and supporting our team and supporting the speakers. So a huge thank you to you. It's a lot of thank you for, I guess, my talk, but yeah, thank you. All right, and I think we have one last slide here, and Angie, I'm going to let you do that one. It's what's coming next, right? Because now the conference part is done, but we still have more in the program. Let me go to the next slide. Here we go.
In other words, it's not over, people. So
right?
30 plus hours, and we still have more to come. So I invite you guys to all come back tomorrow. I won't list the time zone because it's different for everybody, but tomorrow is the career fair where many of the hiring companies will be there. They'll be networking at tables. So if you're seeking employment or if you know somebody else, please encourage them to sign up and attend tomorrow. All the information is available online so that you can follow your time zone agenda as well. But we hope that you're able to join us tomorrow, and we look forward to it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Angie. And maybe one last thing. If you're wondering after the career fair, I'm going to stop sharing my screen as well. If you're wondering after the career fair, what's next on the Women 3D Printing stage, we're actually going to be at AMS. That's going to be our next big event. So that's going to be the week of February 6th in New York. Kat, I know I saw you in the comments. If you can drop the link to the Women in 3D Printing happy hour, that'd be awesome. So if anyone is at AMS, come and see us. We'll have a big happy hour supported by AMS during that week. So A huge thank you to everyone. The networking stage will stay open until tomorrow, until the career fair. So feel free to stay. Network. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat. I'm back in my thank yous, I guess. So stay on the networking stage. Have fun, and see you all very soon.